Hey guys, it's Mark Rodriguez here, my review on the third episode of Hellsing Ultimate, which in case you guys didn't know, it's basically the OAV remake of the original anime series, but this time of course it's more faithful to the manga, and it has, bigger animation budget and everything. And yeah, in case you're wondering why I didn't do a third episode last week, it's because there was no episode last week on TV. The Beware the Batman show ended. It was canceled or whatever. And he decided to marathon the last remaining episodes that weren't already aired on Cartoon Network Adult Swim. So that means no time for Hellsing. And now the show is back, but this time it's back at 2 o'clock in the morning instead of 3. So yeah, so just keep in mind that from now on it's at 2 o'clock. Don't watch it at 3 because you're just going to catch the last few minutes and you're going to miss the episode. So anyways, we're going to do a brief synopsis here. Synopsis, that's how you pronounce it. And my opinions. So basically the episode starts out with these mercenaries, and now they're getting hired by the Hellsing organization because I guess, they lost so many soldiers in the last episode. They need new people. And these mercenaries, where they're basically, they'll shoot and kill whoever as long as you pay them and everything. And, at first they're kind of like, well, we're getting hired to kill monsters and vampires. The hell, that's not real. Until, of course, Alucard appears. They're like, oh shit, this stuff is real. But, they're also like, well, as long as you pay us on time, that's all we care about. And there's a meeting between Integra and the Hellsing people with the Vatican in this fancy museum where they trade information based on what they know of the Millennium and this enemy at large. And there's a little scene there where Alucard appears, even though he wasn't supposed to. He just appears there. And then Anderson appears there, and they're about to fight it out. And basically they're not supposed to really fight. It's supposed to be kind of like how you always see these big crime bosses, you always see like the big guys in the background, the big bouncers or whatever you want to call them, so that that if you start shit, yeah, I got my guys. So basically that's what they were doing. It was kind of like, if you want to start stuff with us, we got Alucard, and they're kind of like, well, yeah, when you start stuff, we got Anderson, but they didn't care. They're just about to just jump in there and slash each other up and just destroy the whole place. But then Sarah's Victoria kind of runs in between with a whole bunch of old people, like a weird museum tour thing, and even Alucard and Anderson were kind of like, well, it's not worth fighting here, we'll do it next time, I'll kill you next time, that kind of thing. So yeah, they exchange information, they find out that the Nazis are behind this, and they're going to start more trouble. Apparently they did a lot of stuff, vampire raid stuff in the Second World War, now they're back for more stuff, and they got a search and destroy mission in South America. So Alucard, Victoria, and the mercenaries all go to South America, and they book a night in this fancy hotel. Looks like a big mansion, like the suite and everything. And the bad guys find out. They send a ton of soldiers after them, and basically it's a search and destroy mission. So Alucard just gets to kill everybody. And basically just like an episode that reminds you that even though he's the main character, even though he's a hero, we're supposed to root for him and whatever, he's still a monster. He still loves to kill and slash and rip people apart and blood and guts and everything. And that's what he did. And even Victoria was kind of surprised because she's like, but Master, they're just normal humans. They're not monsters or vampires. And he's like, I don't care. We're monsters. That's what we do. Don't be a coward. So yeah, lots of blood and guts. Lots of big, blood orgy there. And for the fans that wanted to see this series, come into full glory, and that were upset that the original anime wasn't as bloody, this is the episode for you, because yeah, it just gets brutal for the last half hour there. And then, I guess you want to call this the boss fight. We got a guy called a Dandy Man that can control these cards, these razor sharp cards that can just fly around and whatever, he commands them and all that, and he throws them at Alucard. And, big bloody fight between Alucard and the Dandy Man. And we have this explosive, I guess, bloody climax, if you want to call it, where Alucard basically shoves his arm right through Dandy Man's arm, basically splitting it in half, like you're splitting a banana in half, Basically like those Mortal Kombat fatalities, if you know about how Kung Lao cuts you in half with his hat, that kind of thing. And that's like, damn. And basically he's going to bite him. It's like, you're going to tell me everything you know, or at least your blood will. Because I guess he gathers information from whoever he bites and sucks blood out of. So yeah, so as he chomps down on the Dandy Man and everything, he finds out about this Nazi guy. And this Nazi guy, apparently he knows already about Alucard. It looks like they faced each other before, back in, the days of World War II. So, of course, there's like a mystery as to, is this guy a vampire too? Or if he's not a vampire, how is he still alive now in modern day and not, aged or whatever? So that's like a mystery. And yeah, so the bad guy wants to start another war. That's all he cares about. War, destruction, death, all that stuff. And Alucard's out to stop him, but he also likes the destruction. He's like, we're both the same. We'll just kill everything until there's nothing left. and basically how the episode kind of ends at that point as the mercenaries come back and rescue, you know, Alucard and Victoria in the helicopter so they could go back to the Hellsing mansion. But yeah, interesting episode. I gotta say the beginning was kind of weird. It was a lot of comedic humor and a lot of Sarah Victoria like hijinks. I guess she's the more cartoony character of the show. She's the one that does like the big eyes and the, you know, chibi thing of the Japanese anime characters. They turn into that cutesy wootsy version of themselves for those brief seconds that they're shocked, surprised, or whatever. You know, arguing about how she doesn't want to sleep in the coffin, and like the spirit of the gun. It looks like this little weird priest guy that's hovering over her, like just haunting the hell out of her. And I don't know if you guys remember, but in the original Hellsing anime series, at the end of each episode, when they do like the little previews for the next episode, there was always like a little extra skit of the little ghosts haunting her, and everything was drawn in that weird, chalky, sloppy style, and it was just, you know, it's just funny. But he was never actually in the episodes themselves, though. It was just like the little previews. You know, the previews never really count within the show's continuity. And here, he was actually in the episode. That's kind of interesting. And of course, that whole scene of her doing like a museum tour with all these random old people, and the old people, everything was all cartoony for that segment, and they were all staring into Alucard's gun, and they're like impressed by Alexander, and they're just like walking through, and I'm sure that if Alucard and them were not that serious, they would have also had that huge anime sweat drop, and then, you know, and then like Victoria does a big old cartoony looking thumbs up, and Walter gives her a cartoony thumbs up because of course she stopped the fight from starting in the museum. But lots of cartoony hijinks in the beginning of the episode, but in the second half, it just gets all bloody as all hell. I mean, people are getting killed left and right. There's no mercy and everything. There's a scene where some soldiers are escaping in an elevator, but Alucard, like, I guess, hypnotizes one of the soldiers to keep the elevator, to keep pushing the button to keep it open, so the other guys have no choice but to gun their own guy down, and then before they could escape, Alucard still catches the elevator and gets in there, and, you know, no one survives, basically. It's just blood and gore everywhere. It's basically like a horror movie. It's like this unstoppable demonic thing in the shadows. People were running and like, help, no, all that kind of stuff. It was just like geez, you know? And, yeah, then the fight at the end with the Dandy Man. More blood and guts everywhere. So, like I said, if you're a big fan of that kind of thing, and the main reason why you wanted to see Hellsing, and if this wasn't a manga, because I believe this is all newer stuff that's only in the manga that was not in the original series, because I do not remember seeing the Dandy Man in the original series. It's been a long time since I've seen it, but I don't remember that character in the other anime. So I'm sure this is all the newer manga stuff that was not seen before. But yeah, if you like this stuff, you'll probably love this episode like hell. Another thing I do want to mention though is the very first time though I think that we actually see Alucard posing as I guess as a human in the human world. We always see him. He's either always dressed up in, of course, his famous, you know, red outfit, or sometimes he's like in this weird black leathery outfit with straps and stuff, you know. But this is the first time we see him in, like, I guess, more normal clothes and like, you know, booking the hotel room with the guy. I mean, yeah, it should look creepy as all hell, but we rarely see Alucard out amongst normal people without it being some kind of mission or a graveyard or just fighting from within inside the Hellsing walls and everything. But yeah, it's a good episode, very interesting. I really liked it. I can't wait for the next episode to see where we go from here. Because like I said, it looks like from now on, you know, I never read the manga to compare from the old show, so I can't really say if this is gonna. It sounds like from here on out, it's gonna be all new stuff that we haven't seen before from the other series. So let's see what happens there. Let's see how it goes. Anyways, guys, yeah, that wraps up this episode. I've been loving the series so far. No real complaints. Like I said, it was kind of weird in the beginning, but it was awesome near the end. So yeah, drop your comments below. Tell me what you think. Remember that it's every Saturday night, 2 a.m. from now on, at Adult Swim. And yeah, basically that's my review for this episode. Pretty good so far. Let's hope it keeps going from here. And this is Mark Rodriguez, and I'll see you next time for more Hellsing.